think too much and feel too little.
Guy's German here wants to adopt the country. Oblige him.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
What'd they put in your kibble this morning?
Yo, Adrian, let me rock you.
Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
Why so serious?
This is the guy behind the guy behind the guy.
The lady who put the BS in BSN. It's Carolyn Sheridan from the Ag Health and Safety Alliance. Time once again to see what we can do to help our family farmers.
Lucky to have her on, Carolyn Sheridan. Carolyn, how are you?
Well, Al, I think just before we started the show, we talked about we're in the cold and flu.
That's a sexy voice you got there, Marilyn.
God. What are
Hello,
we cold,
Taylor.
Cold and flu category, aren't we? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Otherwise,
you're a nurse. You you wash your hands. You do all the right stuff. How do you catch cold and flu?
I don't know. I'm going to blame it on. I was traveling, so
The tubes of death, as we like to call them. You sit in there with other people, just sharing their germs. Then they recycle the air. Like, I want those guys there from the back moved to the front. No, thank you.
Yeah, and I was there for 8 or 9 hours each way. So that was a lot of germs floating around.
Not good. So you've sworn going in a plane, and you swear off going to a plane anymore? Don't go.
Don't go. Well, I don't know. It was worth it. It was a great conference. It was at the Ag Nordic conference.
And what makes it a great conference? A lot of beverages.
Yeah.
Good food.
No, well, hey, I got to tell you, the food was good. They start like when you go to conferences around here. Dinner at night starts around like 6. Drinks around
dinner time.
5. Yeah. Well, they're at the conference. Dinner started at 8 at night.
At night, I'm going to bed at the end of the meal. I'm going to go to bed.
No, there's no going to bed. And then it's like 3 courses. And then, when I say starts, that means they're starting to serve people. So, pretty much doesn't get over until like 10-ish or after.
No way.
Yeah, but it was great food. And, I haven't got to see a lot of people I work with, but don't get to see them very often. Meet new people and do some sightseeing, see family. Hey, I got family over there in Sweden too, so.
All right, well, good for you. I thank you for doing the show with us even while you're out there. What's a big topic today?
Well, there was when you go, you talk to people for a week about ag health and safety. I always come back thinking, it's the same everywhere. Just because you're in Germany or Sweden or Canada or whatever, it's the same. It's farming. People do the same things. People are worried about the same things. But as you know, we're getting into harvest. And so I'm thinking about who's on the team because I'm on that team and I'm the least experienced. So I'm going to take my own personal break to cough. Carry on.
Oh, go ahead. I will tell you when I heard we were going to talk about who's on the farm team, I busted this way down. And I thought to myself, all right, let's start with the mean, crappy dogs you people put in the yard. So that every time you drive up, this monster Cujo thing comes running out and acting like it's going to eat you. Just ignore the dog as he's chewing your arm off. Yeah. What about the Cujo being the very first person on the team?
Well, our dogs are not that way. We had to have a talk with our UPS guy last night because we kind of figured out he's been giving them treats. So when he hasn't even stopped, and both of my big 80-pound dogs are in there with him. They just jump in. So they're like, well, why are you having a talk with the Ups guy? He's at least surviving your 2 80-pound Cujos. I think that's a smooth move by Ups guy. I'm like, we don't want him to be their friends anyway. So the dogs, you got, that was good that you brought up the dogs. We had a whole show on pets. We should probably do it again, especially during harvest. You got to keep the pets safe. They kind of get in the way. Harvest only happens one time a year for them too. The only other real farm pet then would be the scraggly old cat that looks like it's dying of some dysentery that's out in the barn eating rats for a living. The feral cats. You all got feral cats. You don't let them in the house. You know what I'm talking about. Well, the rat eaters. I disagree. Sometimes we have. You always disagree with me. Not always, but probably a large percentage of the time. That would be true. And you don't have cats out of your farm? Well, we used to just have one. Now we have like 6 because there's a population explosion. No, we take pretty good care of them. There are mice eaters, but we also like them. Yeah. So we have cats, come in the house? Dogs. Do they come in the house? One.
One. You only like one cat. The other 5 are out. Okay, I'm not that. You agree with me? Okay.
Arthur, that's his name.
Why does Arthur get to come in? He's scraggly too, I bet.
No, he's not. Okay, we're all we're doing is talking about pets, but as far as the team,
you were coughing, so I started the conversation. Now you go with the youngest of the farmers. There are some that are a waste because until they get 6, 7 years old, until they can carry a hammer or do something good for you, leave them in the house. They're just a distraction.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. They are a distraction, but some of them are not able to care for themselves. Like at what age would you leave your children home alone?
Out of a closet? Just kidding. Just give me human services. No, I was kidding. Yeah. I want to say we're in double digits, so it must have been 5th or 6th grade, whatever that makes you. Maybe
yeah,
4th.
kind of like that. I would say so.
And for how long and where you're going to be and that sort of thing. So I want to say that.
But if there's farming happening, if you're not letting them in the equipment with you, if you're doing the no rider, no seat, no rider rule, they get bored too. So the rules have to be pretty clear. You don't come out. You don't. The most scary times in my life have been when I found my son was kind of wondering where he shouldn't be when there's a lot of big equipment. Yeah. In and out. We're hauling. We've got semis. We've got tractors, trucks.
I think you just got to be honest with your farm kids. Until you can be an actual help, I don't want you outside. You stay in here. You're worthless to me until you can do something for me. And that's how we discuss it with the farm kids. And then they're going to want to grow up. They're going to want to say, hey, I can bring your snacks out at noon. Good. There's something you can do. Do that.
There's some things that you could do. You're absolutely right. I've seen, there's a great little video going around where this dad is walking around the farm and talking about things. And he says, and don't do this because you can get killed. Don't do this because you can get killed. So he just be straight up about it. Yeah, these are things that can happen to you. But sometimes I put myself in the kid category as far as being helpful. I know I'm the food and entertainment director, safety, all that. But only once a year do I help on any of that equipment. So you got to give me some slack,
Now, I recall someone coming on this program and talking about you were driving the tractor back in the day while they were throwing hay bales. You're a tractor driver.
Oh, that's completely different. Those were
Why is that different?
Well, remember back in the day, it was a smaller piece of equipment. We were just driving in an empty field. Like, that's different than, maybe pulling alongside of a combine or hauling in or even being asked to move a piece of equipment. I'm short and I don't always reach the pedals very good. I'm not very strong. I know I could.
Wow, you have no self-esteem on this farm. I'm
very realistic, and that's important. We talk about a safe harvest ensures that every generation is there for the next one. So I'm pretty clear on what my role is. I'll go get you carts. I can move a tractor occasionally, something like that. I can bring you your food. All the things we talk about, Al.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of women that are integral part of harvest right now, and they're good at it. I have a picture of people that happen to log on to the YouTube and watches the combine that's in this picture. Is my sister, and she does a lot of their combining. But she's good, and she's good at it because this is what she does. She knows it. She knows how to do that. But you
mean she got really good at driving straight, turning around and driving straight back, and then turning around and goes back like 1 million times in 3 days? Yeah, she got really good at that.
Yeah, and making sure that nothing goes on the ground when you're, when you're dumping. Oh. So there's some skill.
Let me ask you this just before we go to break. Do farmers secretly like it when they run over animals or scare them out of the cornfield? Do they like that? You always see them there going, all of a sudden a deer will pop up and fly out. I saw an actual video like bears coming out of the cornfield. Like, that's kind of cool. Would you hope you kind of get them? Or
we like to see that wildlife there. But we also sometimes, I don't know.
Do they often get up and in the machine? Are they? Trying to get out of there.
It does happen, absolutely. Right, but they're out there. You're right. It might be an occasional gun in a cab. To shoot at some wild animal that's out there.
Shooting out of a cab? We cannot be saying on a safety show that we're happy with that.
I'm pretty sure I didn't think. I don't think I said that. I think
you said a gun in the cab. What are you talking about? Just sitting there.
Yeah.
All right. We got to go to bed. All right, put you in a bad spot.
We will be right back.
Think about it. A famous politician once said, "You're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your own facts." But in a world full of AI and fake news, where can Minnesotans find the facts? Center of the American Experiment is Minnesota's go-to source for fact-based analysis and common sense solutions for taxes, energy, public safety, and our kids' education. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
You need a friend at the Capitol who knows how to get things done.
And you're in luck, because that's exactly who we are, your friends at the Capitol, and we deliver results.
At Momentum Advocacy, we bring decades of experience in lobbying, public affairs, and crisis communications.
From local nonprofits to national corporations, we help you move policy, manage your media, and make your voice heard.
We're not just seasoned pros, we're essential partners.
Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol. Learn more at momentum-advocacy.com.
September is Suicide Prevention Month, a time to raise awareness, support survivors, and save lives. Here in Minnesota, September 24th is Suicide Prevention on the Air Day. Every dollar raised will support SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, providing education, advocacy, and programs of hope. And on that day, your gift will go twice as far because every donation will be matched dollar for dollar. Visit save.org to see our work, learn how you can help, and donate. Remember September 24th because every voice can save a life.
As in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
So we've got Carolyn Sheridan, Ag Health and Safety Alliance, on discussing the Who's on Your Harvest team. And I think we're about halfway through. I think there are 4 more. Might I give that a shot?
Well, as long as we're talking multi-generational. Yep, yeah, so that's what the whole thing is.
No, we got up to the
cats, dogs, kids.
Cats, dogs, kids, the wives of some of the folks like yourself who are extra, that aren't really great at everything, but you're there, you're doing the stuff you can do. All right?
Yeah,
now we're to the guys who get her done. The boss hogs, the trailed guys, they're the ones getting her done, right? They're a couple guys, maybe 1, 2 in a farm. That's another one. They're the ones who get this. That's their job.
Do you know who I call those guys? The go hard or go home. Go hard or
go home. Okay, go hard or go home, guys. I like that.
Yep.
Then there's the the guy they hire cheap because he's not all there, and they make him do the bad jobs.
We don't all do that.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. You knew a second I said it who it was. So you got one of those guys. Then you got the old cantankerous old farmer guy who's going to tell you how they used to do it back in the day when they only had 2-row pickers. That guy's got to be on the team to tell you you're soft to keep the regular guys working hard. Am I lying yet? You're shaking your head. You know I'm right.
You've got some points there. Yes.
And then they have the cook guy who's always chewing snuff and making the victuals for when you're done working at night. So you got that's your team.
Well, Al, that's a team. We'll leave it at that. That's a team. I don't know that that's the team because you forgot some people too. You forgot like the teenagers, the college kids that come home to help. And so the reason that we talked, just next week, I'm going to start going out for our Gear for Ag programs at colleges. And we have one question that we ask that always causes a lot of discussion, no matter where I'm at. And it's like, are you concerned about family members or peers or that you work with on the farm? And there's always a lot of discussion about the generations. Many of them have younger siblings. Many of them have their dad and their grandpa that they're working with, and they are concerned. And they talk about family dynamics. You know, I'm like, well, how do you decide what you're going to do? Well, grandpa says or dad says. Yeah. So we need to kind of work through those kind of family dynamics. It's not like you just going to work and someone telling you what to do. Because if there's family dynamics involved, it gets a little bit different. If you got employees, you know, good on you. Tell them what to do. That's if you want them to be safe or do something, you've got a whole different mindset with them. But if it's your family, that's where the dynamics come in. And how do we make sure everybody is being assigned the tasks based on capability, not tradition? No, that's the tricky part. You know, tradition says I'm the one running the combine. I'm the one hauling in. But there might be a point in time where that's not practical anymore.
Then who makes that call? Who's the head captain of the team?
Right, exactly. And then you've got the worrier. People like me.
Carolyn.
Or or my mom, you know, she was the worrier. You know, where's dad at? What are you having him do? When's he going to be home? Do I need to go get him? So we have a whole different dynamic. So when we say who's on your harvest team, I'm talking mostly about this whole generational farming. And thank goodness we still have that. But we have to make sure we keep health and safety in mind too.
And we're probably, that's the last bastion of the farm, I mean, where kids should be seen but not heard. Are we still in that area where these teenagers, these college kids just hush up? Shh, shh, shh. Grandpa and I'll handle this.
I think that there's a lot of respect. I do. I think there's a lot of respect for the people that currently own the farm, the people that they're going back home to work with. I mean, they talk about wanting to do things different, or a question comes up. Well, how do I talk to them about this? You know, they you know, and so I think we have to find some skill sets too to say, well, how do you say no to the guy that owns the farm? You know, the guy that, you know, if you're going to inherit or whatever. But, you know, we just, you know, that whole idea of just, if you could just take 5 minutes every day and say, who's doing what? And do you have any questions?
You know what would help as well with the whole farm team thing? And maybe there's something to it because they all wear the same, you know, John Deere cap or whatever. You guys should get uniforms. Everybody on the team gets a special color and maybe even a number, just really make it look like a jersey with their name on the back. How cool would that be?
Well, they have a hat. What would mine say? FS, Food and FE.
Well, yeah, whatever. You'd be number one. You're number one. You're the captain. You'd get a nice jersey-looking thing you could wear. How cool is that? Why do we not have uniforms like that for the family farmers? You should do that. Do that this year.
Oh, is that a $1 million idea bucket?
Yes, put it on the. Are you kidding me? And John Deere could, if you're the John Deere family, they'll help pick part of the tab because you'd be putting their logo on your jersey, or you'd get their colors. Oh, this could be huge.
Yeah, it could be huge. Being, you know how I am, I always have to come back with some, you know, like idea about why that might not work. What if somebody's like, no, that's not my job? Do you see? None of my hat, none of my uniform. Because in farming, you know, you have a lot of things that you do all day long. That isn't quite.
Carolyn, you need to just get a uniform, get the sizes for the entire family. That's what they're getting for Christmas this year. And next summer, you're like, Team Carolyn Sheridan.
Yeah, we could do that. But
All right, gotta go.
But I think just
Out of
for, as we're going into harvest, let's start thinking about the whole generations.
We'll do that. We'll get her back next week. It's Carolyn Sheridan's Ag Health and Safety Alliance.